Now, there's an old proverb that states, a child without education is like a bird without wings. Now, your child being left uneducated and you not knowing the standard, you're pretty much clipping your kid's wings. And like they say, sky is the limit. Now, in today's world, it's very competitive out there. And as you as parents, you already know it's competitive. And the fact that my parents didn't have an education, it was even harder for them. So we all have an understanding of how hard it is out there without an education. Now, through the generations, every generation should be better than the last. And with that said, we gotta educate our kids. And the first step, parents, for you guys to know is to learn the standards. Now, according to Shane Lopez of it's Phi Delta Kappa he published a thing called Which Way Do We Go? He states that 65% of all Americans don't even know what Common Core is. And even fewer, well actually in a poll by Gallup, it's been told as well that 55% of all public school parents don't even know what it is as well. So it's obvious that we need to get on top of it, that we need to get on it and learn what Common Core is. Now, I work with kids myself personally. I work with kids, and I've also interviewed a teacher at McGarvin High School, or excuse me, McGarvin Intermediate, junior high kids. And she told me that the Common Core is already being pushed. It's already being pushed. It's been initiated already, and it's slowly getting into the curriculum. Now, as of 2014, it should be already fully instated. So it's never too late. We need to move now for the sake of our kids. Now, with that said, I'll be covering 3 things about Common Core. First thing will be about the English standard. Next thing I'll be covering the math standard of Common Core. And next I'll be covering over the No Child Left Behind versus Common Core itself. Now, in the English standard, it consists of a couple things. It's going to be the reading, the writing, speaking, listening, and media technology. Now, in reading, how the standard is built, it's pretty much like a staircase of complexity through text and literature. And from kindergarten all the way to high school, the reading would be more complex. So by the end of the year, the high school year, these kids are already college ready and career ready to take on any literature out there. In writing, it's going to be all logic, arguments, essays, papers, and get them ready for the college level. So kids are not left, and they don't lack the skills to write a proper report or a proper essay or proposal. Also, speaking and listening, this is a huge thing as well. It's gonna be a huge thing. Speaking is Common Core really is focusing on like one-on-one grouping, one-on-one group, like small group, like communication as well as large group. So public speaking is going to be a huge thing, and it should be pressed, and it will be pressed into the curriculum as well. Also, they want to focus on really communication to one-on-one, and also in media technology, we live in the 21st century. So a lot of stuff is going to be used, like social medias, anything the media, anything technology could use in the 21st century that we could use now to push towards, college and college readiness, and as well as college readiness and career readiness as well. And also going into a math standard, I'm gonna explain a couple of these as well. Now, there's in the National Governor Council, they reported a thing called Adding Up. They went over a couple things. Your kids are going to be covered and going to be studying like algebraic problems, geometry, stuff like that. So, yes.
Yes. 5 minutes left.
Sorry. And they're gonna be going over a lot of stuff. So it'll be simple as in elementary, as algebraic problems, and from there they're gonna learn about pretty much problem solving. They're gonna go into looking at a problem, and they're really gonna figure out the solutions just by looking at it. And also from that, they can also make logical arguments with others through their evidences and concrete details. Now, we already know that math is a huge thing. It's a huge thing in our daily lives. Everybody uses it. We all use it all every day. It's an everyday thing. So that's why it's important, and it's really important to stress to your kids that the math standard, and a lot of kids don't even like it. Like a bunch of my kids don't like it. I personally don't like it, but it's something that's needed, and it's something that we need to instate and help these kids to learn and understand, so they don't have to suffer out there in the real world. Now, I covered both the English standard, the math standard of the Common Core, and also the third thing that I'm going to cover. It's going to be the differences between Common Core standard and the No Child Left Behind. Now, the standard are actually for the goal of the Common Core would be pretty much setting a standard throughout the whole nation. Now, in No Child Left Behind, the standard was actually the goal was to have reading and math be proficient in 2014, next year. And the standard will be covered in Common Core across the nation, in conjunction with both college and public schools. And also the testing in Common Core will be biannually. It'll be 2 tests annually. And No Child Left Behind, it's an accurate yearly progress test that kids grades from 3 to 8 take it once a year, annually, and you take it once in high school. And also with there are also penalties in Common Core. Now, Common Core really holds teachers accountable, and they hold them accountable to the fact that when these kids are not performing, not only does teachers get accountable, but staff, principals of the school are accountable as well. So there's a thing called transformation. It's one of the options given to transform and fix, reconstruct these schools. Transformation model consists of removing the principal and replacing about 50% of the staff, implementing educational program, and extending learning time. The turnabout is also eliminating the principal, changing about more than 50% of the staff, and again implementing more, extending the learning time, and implementing another educational program. Now, the restart model is completely changing the whole game. We're talking about everything, changing everything from the principal, teaching staff, everything, and changing all that, and even closing the school completely, and really reinstating it again. Now, ultimately, it's called the closure model, where you ultimately just close the whole school completely, either and give the chances for these kids to go to another school in the district. So today I covered the English standard, I covered the math standard, and I covered the differences between Common Core and No Child Left Behind. So parents, take initiative, learn the standard, and really help these kids out, because sky is the limit, and let's give our kids wings so they can fly as well. Thank you.